And obsession number 10. I woke up this morning and changed the way I want to teach this to you. The reality is there were like 9 obsessions. Gino, you got to tell them how you sold. You got to tell them how you sold. It's so unique. It's so rare. You got to tell them how you sold. And I don't want to tell you how I sold because here's the truth. Sold on this day, 7 years later, which is where we are today, they've 6X'd the company. By every imaginable metric, that sale was successful. But my neuroses won't allow me to celebrate it. The reality is I think I'm finally comfortable to talk about what I did because I really do think I sold well and I sold very unique. And the other thing is, 4 years ago, every investor was offered 3 times their money. So an incredible return on their investment. So that day I was free because everyone got a return on their investment if they took the money. Most didn't, which is probably smart because it's probably worth 6 times as much now. So the statement is, I knew when it was time to sell. The bullet points are 3 criteria: right buyer, right opportunity, right price, 5-year runway, my 8 reasons. I want you to see those, but I'm going to work from this, and I'm going to share it pretty fast because I'm trying to plant a seed. Because here's the truth of what's about to happen in the next 10 years. For probably most of you, your business is going to transition. It's going to. And I told Kelly, I said, Kelly, I don't want to talk about this at the conference because we're going to scare the hell out of all the leadership team members that don't have ownership. And she said, Gino, you have to. She said, Gino, scare them. See, what I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt is it's an opportunity for every single one of you. And you got to talk about this stuff. I'm just going to share with you how I did it. So you're going to transition your business in the next 10 years, most of you, one of 4 ways. You're going to go out of business, sadly. You're going to transfer the business to your kids. You're going to transfer the business to some outside buyer, or you're going to transfer the business to your employees, which I hope we see a lot more of that. So it's coming. So I have an obligation, and I'm okay talking about this sale now. What I did first is I read a book called Finish Big. I'd urge you to do that. Whether you do or not, what's interesting, though, is this whole thing I'm about to share with you is all about finishing big. I want you to finish big. Now, these are going to move fast because I'm trying to convey a philosophy. Get your gears turning. So the next thing is I knew what I was going to do after the sale. I've watched so many of my clients not know what they're going to do after the sale. I have the luxury now of seeing 30% of my clients sell in the last 22 years, and most are depressed because their baby's gone and they have no purpose. They don't know what they're going to do afterwards. You got to know what you're going to do afterwards. And you got to decide, do you want to stay involved in the business or don't you? Because most, like 90%, you're forced to because you didn't build a team and a self-managed company, as Dan Sullivan would call it, like Don and I did. So the day it was time to sell, it was running on its own. I sat in the owner's box. I got to just walk away from it. Most, you're so mired in it, when they buy you, you got to stay involved for 3 years and work for somebody as an employee. Some of my clients love it. Some of them hate it. You just got to decide for you. I urge you to give yourself a 5-year runway. That's why I'm saying in 10 years, 5-year runway. Don and I did a 5-year runway. So again, right about here, we just put a succession plan to replace ourselves and have a self-managed company by here. I wasn't intending to sell. This is where I was a little ignorant. I already sold one company in the past, but I didn't want to sell EOS Worldwide. But then I realized it was the right thing to do. Give yourself 5-year runway. Start to think about who you're going to transfer it to. What it's going to look like. Do you want to be involved? It's all in the accountability chart. Here's what I did that shocked the world. Is the day I decided I was going to sell, I told everybody in the company. Every expert and professional will tell you, do not do that. Hide it from them. Keep them in the dark. And then surprise the shit out of them on the day you sell. And they're going to realize they've been lied to for the last year. Now, with that said, I had the luxury of a very open and honest organization. So open and honest that I could say, hey, I'm selling. Now, it was the presentation of my life. Biggest presentation was when I changed the business model. Second biggest was when I had to tell 180 people I'm selling the company. And I gave them my 8 reasons for why I'm selling, and they got it. And they were supportive, and they were excited. And incidentally, I did something else very unique. I gave them all an opportunity to invest in the business, in the sale, and 30 of them did. I defined my ideal buyer. I created this document with 15 bullet points, and as we went through all of our suitors, they had to sit and listen to me preach that to them. And if you ain't this, you ain't the right buyer. The 3 criteria you see up there, I boiled it down to what I realized for this deal, there's 3 criteria. Number 1, they got to be the right buyer. That was that document. Number 2, it's got to be the right opportunity for Peyton and Kelly. So they had to want to keep Peyton and Kelly. And number 3, it had to be the right price. And by the way, those things all get balanced because I sold to the 3rd highest bidder. I didn't sell for the highest or the 2nd highest because the 3rd one I knew was the right buyer for us and it was the right opportunity for Peyton and Kelly. I urge you to run EOS Pure, so we ran EOS Pure. And it sounds scientific. When you run EOS Pure, your company is worth more. You can't deny it anymore. Private equity is looking for companies running on EOS. You're going to be more valuable. And then this came to me for you, whoever you are. Those 9 obsessions I shared, if you just don't have it in you anymore to do that, that's okay, because I didn't. I just wanted to go back to being an EOS implementer and create a whole bunch of new stuff. Life has been heaven for the last 7 years. But if you don't have it in you anymore, the energy, the chutzpah, it might be time to sell. I gave veto power to Don, Peyton, and Kelly, my partner, my visionary, my integrator. And I said, at any point, if you think this is the wrong deal, you get to kill it. That's crazy stuff right there. But it kept me honest, kept me sharp. When we found our right buyer and went through the process, I had us hold these weekly meetings every week, every Saturday morning, because I wanted to avoid all this crazy due diligence crap that drags on for twice as long. We closed that deal fast. Attorney fees were less because we'd have them on the calls. And the last thing I would say to you is just talk to experts. I went out, when I decided to do this, I talked to experts. I found every expert I could. A great investment banker, Scott Eisenberg, who happens to be in this room today, a great tax attorney, and a great deal attorney. Go talk to experts. And then I talked to a bunch of deal people that taught me how to do a deal, and that was really powerful. So my closing question on that one, and then I'm going to bring us into the home stretch. Do you know when it's time to sell? Please start thinking about this. But you got to be talking about this stuff, and it's a great opportunity. And I hope more and more and more people start selling to their employees. I think that's a beautiful opportunity in the world right now.